At the end of a quiet street, in the town of Maplewood, there was a small watch shop called Time and Me. The owner was Mr. Harold Jensen, an elderly man nearly 80 years old, with silver hair, yet eyes that still sparkled and hands that remained steady, skillful as he held a tiny screwdriver, repairing the delicate gears inside an old timepiece. No one quite knew why Mr. Harold kept his shop open, especially when no one in town seemed to buy mechanical watches anymore. Yet he came in every day at precisely 6 a.m., brewed a pot of black tea, opened the wooden door, and began to gently clean each watch as if they were long-lost children he had lovingly brought home from the past. One autumn afternoon, a young man named Evan, recently laid off from his job, stopped by the shop to fix an old pocket watch left behind by his great-grandfather. Time didn't mean much to Evan. He believed the world could always wait. But something about Mr. Harold made him linger longer than he had intended. "Do you know why I keep this watch?" Mr. Harold asked, holding a vintage timepiece with a cracked glass face. Evan shook his head. "Because it doesn't just count time. It reminds me of all the minutes I once traded for something I thought mattered." He went on to tell how he had once been an aerospace engineer, designing propellers for military aircraft. But in his obsession with achievement and work, he missed his sister's wedding, his father's last birthday, and the only time he could have spent with his first wife before she passed away from cancer. "I worked tirelessly, but it wasn't until I lost everything that I understood. Working alone doesn't bring happiness. Work must come with awareness, so you know what you're exchanging your life for." The young man sat in silence. Outside, dusk was falling. The watch Mr. Harold had been repairing began to tick again, each beat steady like a heart coming back to life. "Achievement doesn't come from busyness," Mr. Harold continued. "It comes when you give your time to the things that truly matter." From that day on, Evan didn't just return to pick up the watch. He came to learn the trade. 1 year later, the sign on the shop read, "Harold and Evan, watchmakers of time." And perhaps the strangest thing happened. People from all over town began bringing in their old watches, not to check the time, but to hear a story.